doing today? My name's Eric. I really appreciate you stopping by to check out my video today. On this episode of Smo'King, I'm going to show you how to make cured and smoked pork chops. Got to give you a little bit of a backstory on this one. The motivation for me making this specific dish, meaning the pork chops, has to do with a live stream with a couple of other YouTube creators who also have YouTube cooking / barbecue smoking channels. One guy's name is Chris and his channel is called Bottle Cap Barbecue. The other guy's name is James and his channel is called Cooking with James. I'm going to leave some links below. Please go check them out and subscribe, and they have some great videos. But they were doing a live stream. They were hanging out together. They live close together. And they were hanging out, and I was kind of watching their live stream, and a bunch of other YouTube creators were as well, and we were just chatting back and forth. And someone came up with the idea, hey, why don't we pick one item and we'll all make a video on that one item, and we'll all release that video on the same day. They decided on pork chops. So this is why I'm specifically making this video today, is for this collaboration video with them and a lot of other people. So if you search YouTube for smoked chops and you see October 15th release date, this is probably someone that's also doing the collaboration with me, James, and Chris. Anyway, I'm deciding to do my pork chops a little bit different. I want to stand out from the crowd, so that's why I'm going to be curing these in addition to smoking them. And curing is actually a very simple process, but adds a whole different level of flavoring to whatever it is you're curing. And I'm going to show you how to make a very simple curing solution that you can use for just about anything you want to cure. I've used this exact same recipe for this liquid cure for chickens, for turkeys, for full pork tenderloins, for Canadian bacon. You can do pork belly for regular bacon. You can do full pork shoulders and stuff for hams. I mean, you name it. Anything that you want to cure, you can cure with this recipe. So please stick around. I'm going to show you how to do this step by step. Let's get cooking. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make this brine / curing solution that we're going to soak these pork chops in. Now, since these chops are relatively thin, they're probably 3/4 inch, maybe an inch thick, they're only going to need 3 to 4 days to cure. When I did a full pork loin, I did it for 11 to 14 days because it's a much thicker piece of meat. If you do chickens, 2 to 3 days. Same thing with turkeys. You know, when you get into bacon, you're probably looking 7 to 10 days, and then hams and stuff, you can go several weeks, if not even a month or longer. First thing you're going to do is you're going to get 1 gallon of water. I just bought a gallon jug at the store, distilled water. I've heard that sometimes tap water has some impurities and chemicals in it that might interact with the curing solution. So, you know, these are 99 cents at the store. I figure if I'm going to go through the hassle of curing something, I'll just buy something that I know is distilled. It's not going to have any impurities in it that might mess with my cure. So, 1 gallon of water. Now make sure when you make this, keep the measurements exact. If you need more water to cover whatever it is you're curing, then add 2 gallons and add all the ingredients, particularly when we're talking about this curing salt. This has sodium nitrite in it, and it can be a dangerous chemical, poisonous even, if you consume too much of it. So you have to be very careful about the measurements. Anyway, 1 gallon of water. We're going to add 1 cup of kosher salt, okay? That's an easy one to remember. We're going to add 1 cup of regular old brown sugar. Whoops. We're going to add 1 cup of regular white sugar. And then the magic ingredient, 1 tablespoon of the pink curing salt. This stuff I'm using here is called Prague Powder number 1. You can get it online on Amazon. You can get it, I think, at Walmart.com and a couple other places. But like I said, make sure to use the proper amount. If you were using this in a dry cure, like that you'd rub over bacon, it was around a 5-pound piece of pork belly, you only want to use 1 teaspoon for every 5 pounds of meat. But since I'm using a gallon of water, you can go up to 1 tablespoon, because obviously the water is not going to be hitting every piece of whatever meat you have in it at all the time. So 1 tablespoon of the pink curing salt. So now all we do is we just mix this very well until all the particles are dissolved. This usually takes a good 6-7 minutes of just stirring it, and when you can hear that crunch, that's me stirring on the bottom of the pot so you can still hear the particles. Now you can add different flavors into this. Some people put sliced oranges and lemons and limes if they're going for kind of a citrusy, whatever it is they're doing. They want a citrus flavor. I'm just going to add a spice mix. This is a little spice mix I bought at the store, similar to what they use like with corned beef when they cure that. And it's just got mustard seed, cumin, black pepper, coriander seeds, allspice, red chili, and a few bay leaves. So I'm going to throw that in. I'm going to wait until I have this completely dissolved, and then I'll add that. And then all we're going to do is we're going to put our pork chops in this solution, and we're going to let them cure in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 days. If you can go 4 days, go 4 days. It's not going to hurt it. A minimum of 3. Now, if you're in a hurry and you only got a couple days, what you can do to speed up the process is get a syringe, an injector. You can get those at the store. They're pretty inexpensive. And you can inject some of the curing solution inside the meat. That'll assure that you're getting that curing solution to all parts of the meat. I'm not going to inject these today because I'm just going to leave them in for 4 days. I'm not going to rush the process. Alright, so it's been around 3-4 minutes. You can't hear that scraping sound anymore, and I let it stop stirring it for a few seconds just so you can see to the bottom of the pan. If you don't see any particles, you pretty much mixed it in completely. So this is ready to go. Now I'll add that spice mix in there. And this isn't really a necessity, the spice mix. They were selling these for 99 cents at the store, so I figure why not? It's certainly not going to hurt anything. Okay, now you need to have the pork chops sit in this solution, like I said, completely submerged for 3 to 4 days. There's a number of different ways to do that. I could just throw my pork chops in this pan and then maybe put something heavy, plastic bag filled with water to weigh it down. Some people use like a plate, a heavy plate, to weigh it down, just to make sure the pork chops are completely submerged. Whatever container you use to do that, make sure it's non-reactive, meaning it doesn't have copper or metal in the thing, because that's going to interact with the curing process. So you can use a plastic container, a glass container, a stainless steel, which is what this pot is. Just make sure it's not like a copper pot or anything with any kind of metallic inside the pot, because like I said, that's going to screw things up. So what I found is the easiest way is I just use Ziploc gallon storage bags or freezer bags. I have 6 chops total, so to kind of even it out here, because I know I'm not going to be able to fit a gallon of water in one of these bags, because they're only 1 gallon bags. So I took 2 1-gallon bags, I put 3 chops in a piece, and I put it in this little container here to hold it upright. And now I'm just going to pour half the solution in each bag, hopefully without spilling anything. Whoops, do that side. If you've never had anything cured, man, I definitely recommend it. It adds a whole new flavor dimension. If you've ever gone to the State Fair or Disneyland, or the carnival where they have those big giant turkey legs that are smoked, that are beautiful bronze, and people are eating those things. Sometimes they have that, what do they call it, the medieval fairs. The reason those are pink on the inside, even though they're turkey legs, is because they've been cured. So you could do this to turkey legs, full turkeys, like I said, so many different options. And this is a brine I got from a guy on one of the smoking forums many years ago. His name's Pop, and it's called Pop's Brine. And he got this recipe from his dad that used to own a little, I guess, meat market slash smokehouse back in the day. And this is the same solution he would use for smoking holiday hams and so forth. All right, that's just about it. I think that's even. I think there's more than enough solution. Boom. All right, now we're just going to seal these up, and into the refrigerator they go. Like I said, minimum of 3 days. If you can go 4 days, even better. I'm going to go stick this in the fridge, and I will meet you guys back here in 3 to 4 days and show you the next step. Until then, we'll see you in a little bit. Bye. Welcome back, everyone. It's exactly 4 days later, and these are ready to come out now. Now, one thing I noticed when I first put them in the bags for the first day or two, they were kind of floating near the top. So I kept kind of rotating them to make sure all sides were submerged. But then after around a day and a half, 2 days, they sank right to the bottom. So maybe they're just absorbed some of that liquid. But just to show you there, here they are. What we're going to do now is we're going to take them out of these bags. We're going to rinse them very well under cold water in the sink. Take a few minutes to do this. We want to make sure we get any of this brine off it because it's got a lot of salt and sugar. We want to rinse that all off, okay? And then I'm just going to put them on a wire rack to dry. I'm going to put the rack in the refrigerator for probably an hour or two to let them dry. This is a good process to do before you smoke them. So I've rinsed them off very well under cold water, and I put them on this drying rack. Take some paper towels and just kind of dry them off. I'm not going to be eating these until dinner, so I'm going to stick them in the fridge so they get nice and cold, and being in the fridge uncovered just like this in the rack is going to allow some air circulation, and are going to dry these off a little bit better, so when I get them in the smoker they'll be ready to go. So there you go. I'm going to flip them over, dry off the other side, into the fridge. I'll meet you guys back in a couple hours when we're ready to throw them on the smoker. See you then. I just got these in the smoker. Light smoke's starting to come up. I'm going to start the stopwatch again, or the timer, just so I know. 145. I got 2 probes in, one in the back, one up here in the front. We don't want to go any higher than 145. They'll be done. So we're going to try to get a nice steady flow of smoke on these. And hopefully, as long as I get 2 hours or so, maybe 2.5, we should be fine. I got both burners on low. I think it's going to hover around 220 to 240. So that's it. We'll come check these out in a little bit. All right, it's been 1 hour, 14 minutes. We're right around, but 114, 118. So just want to take a look at them as the dog goes crazy in the background. All right, let's take a look at this. Whew. I've been adding smoke. I'm using hickory smoke. Oh yeah. They look like they're taking on some color. Looking good. We still got a little while to go. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. Hopefully I can get another half hour. A half hour to 45 minutes. And these will be done. I don't want to overcook them. Don't want them to dry out. But these are going to be delicious. So, yeah, we'll check back on them in around 20 minutes or so. Here they are, fresh off the smoker. Look at how wonderful these look. Definitely took on some nice color. Alright guys, here we go. I just wanted you to see when I sliced it, you can see it's got a little mild pink coloring to it. That's from the cure. A little hammy look to it. We'll be back in a second with the family. We can all try some, see what they think. Hey everyone, here we are with the whole family. My wife Monica, my son Kyle. Say hi, Kyle.
Hi.
Here we are. I got some pieces sliced. I didn't grab forks. Just grab one with your fingers. Cured and smoked pork chops.
Oh my gosh, it's really good.
Oh wow.
It tastes like ham.
Yeah, it does have a hammy taste. That's what the cure does. It's also got a little bit of a pink hue inside, but boy, is it tasty. If you guys have never tried curing your own stuff, you see how easy it is. You just need to get that one, curing salt, Prague powder #1, get it on Amazon or online, and you'll be in business. Well, thanks again, Chris at Bottle Cap Barbecue and James from Cooking with James for the challenge collaboration. Here you go with my pork chops. And I appreciate you guys watching my video. If you like it, hit the like button. Check out some of my other videos. Consider subscribing. Check out the link above to my website, ericsmokingbbq.com. We'll see you next time. Are you eating it all?
It's
I'm
good.
gonna take that piece.
It's
we'll
good.
see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.